Okay, I'm going to get started now, and we'll anyone else that wants to join can catch up with us. Thank you everyone for joining. It's the a signNow webinar. signNow going to put on a webinar for us. signNow is obviously a flexible, cost-effective e-signature solution, as you can see on the screen now. We're joined today by Evelyn Bachatsky, who's the Vice President of Special Projects at signNow. And also giving a demonstration will be Elena Holoborodkov later on in the presentation. For a bit of housekeeping, we will be recording, or as you can see, we are recording the webinar, so that will be sent out to you after the webinar's finished, either this evening or later tomorrow. And also, any questions, please put them in the chat and we'll address them at the end of the webinar. So I'm going to pass over to Evelyn now to start the presentation.
Thank you so much. Let me see if I can share my screen here with the presentation. All right. So can everybody see my screen?
Yep, that's come up, Evelyn. Yep.
All right, awesome. So thank you for having me today for this webinar. So we're going to talk about signNow. I think all of you understand how important it is to have your workflows digitized these days, especially for business continuity, especially after the pandemic and a new normal with contactless business as a requirement. And a major component of any digitized workflow is having an electronic signature. So our company actually started in 2008 with a PDF editor, a simple solution for PDF editor, and we noticed that a vast majority of the users were actually using these PDFs to send them out for collecting signatures and archiving. So we understood that we needed to add to our portfolio of solutions signNow as the electronic signature solution. And that's what we did. And this is just some basic facts. Solution that allows users to keep their business moving forward from anywhere, at any time, and on any device. So fast forward to 10 years later, we have about 28 million users globally, and it is a very feature-rich product because as a company, we place tremendous emphasis on product development. To give you a sense, just dedicated to signNow, we have about 200 engineers in Ukraine, and that is definitely the largest number of engineers dedicated to a electronic signature product in the market, and we are very proud of it. So as a result of such emphasis in the product itself, it's not surprising that we have a lot of features. It's feature-rich product, and here on this slide, I only have a few of them, just a handful of these features, but the list is very extensive. So some of the features, of course, basics such as role-based signing, when you have multiple signers in the process. For example, as you're buying a house, you have a process that involves multiple people. Then signNow has the capability of assigning multiple recipients for the signature in a certain order, if you like. For example, sending the same doc to be signed by many people at once, creating teams within signNow for better collaboration between team members, fillable forms, audit trail. It's very important these days to make sure you keep track of documents signed, branded workflows. We also have a very powerful API. If some of you are ISVs, independent software vendors, and you are looking into embedding the electronic signature capability into your product, that is a possibility as well to give that smooth experience to your end user. So we have an API product. We're not going to talk about it today, but just keep that in mind. And again, like I said, the list of features is very extensive. I just show a handful of them here. When you are doing diligence on electronic signature solutions, another factor, beyond feature parity, is the ROI, the return on investment that you get by adopting that solution. And I wanted to say that, roughly speaking, signNow is on average 40% cheaper than the leading competition. So it's very affordable, in particularly for the SMB and mid-market. It's definitely the solution of choice. It's our sweet spot. And when you do your diligence, you might also want to look into hidden costs. We have very transparent pricing model. One example is around support. As you go through a proposal process, you may not catch that a lot of these, e-signature providers, they charge for support. We don't. It's all included in that price that is in itself about 40% cheaper. And it is 24/7, live, a real person, not a robot, that answer your questions around signNow in a matter of seconds. And we're very proud of it. It's an extremely capable support. And I think it's very important, especially for SMBs, because they don't necessarily have an IT department that can go and help them on the spot, real time, as they run into issues. But even with support, and just keep in mind that you were unlikely to use it because the product itself is very intuitive. It's super, super easy to use. A person can basically get up to speed in a matter of an hour on the product. And that's one of the main pieces of feedback that we get on several review sites like G2, Capteria. Majority of the reviews we get refer specifically to how intuitive and easy to use signNow is. By the way, we are present in all the major review sites, and the important analysis by analysts. For instance, the Gartner Market Guide includes signNow as a leading solution. And lastly, on this slide, what I wanted to say is that signNow grows with your business. One thing to keep in mind is our company has a portfolio of digital transformation products. And typically, people who adopt signNow end up going further in their digital transformation and doing more and more of workflow automation. And we have the next product that is fully integrated, fully synergetic with signNow, that offers that additional level of workflow automation. The product is called AirSlate, but we're not going to talk about it today. We're going to focus exclusively on signNow. So that's it for this slide. Then wanted to just emphasize that the focus of the webinar will be on the integrations, the native integrations that we have with Microsoft applications. From our previous assessment, we understood that this audience uses Microsoft applications, so it made sense to focus on that. And I mean, some of you may already have a electronic signature solution and may be unhappy with it and looking into switching. Some of you may have the Microsoft applications and you're looking into leveraging those applications to the maximum by adding the electronic signature component. And some of you may not have been exposed to electronic signature. I think that's a small percentage of the market because quite frankly, it became such a must-have with business these days. But yeah, there might be some of you that are thinking about adopting an electronic signature for the first time. So specifically about the Microsoft integrations that we have, today we're going to talk about two, Microsoft Teams and Microsoft Dynamics, the CRM part. For Microsoft Teams, the challenges are, clear. If you are using Teams, it's your environment. You want to do everything from there. So having that electronic signature added to it makes everything easier because you can sign and send documents right from Teams. And you can also avoid a number of errors that typically, happen when you have to like resend the same document multiple times, or you have to repeat a certain workflow. So you can avoid typical mistakes associated with that kind of process by having templates that basically work, that do majority of the work for you. So you don't have to, redo manually all the work that you've done before for a particular process. Another, typical issue is having to send the document to individual signers when you have multiple signers. And as I mentioned before, we do have the capability of routing and keeping track of all of this. These days you need like a simple dashboard that you can just look at it and you have everything there. So having that full integration of the eSignature capability from the environment that you're already used to is great for productivity, and the outcomes that you get are clear. You obviously save on paper because we're talking about a fully digitized workflow when you use Microsoft Teams combined with signNow. These things are in the past. You speed up the process, of course, especially if you're using templates and if you're sending, bulk type of sending to multiple people at once. So, of course, you gain time. You reduce document errors. I think all of you, have been in situations where you send a document to be signed and then it comes back. They signed in one spot, not on the other spot. They forgot to put the initials on every page. That's a common issue, but that issue should be in the past because, like I said, having an electronic signature that guides the recipient through the multiple spots where they need to sign is like a must-have. And lastly, it's security. I think, compliance has become huge, especially in the past 2 years with so much activity on the web. And, signNow has all the industry-specific EU and US security compliances. For example, it does have SOC 2, which is a pretty hard to get, compliance. It took us 3 years. There are a lot of fringe electronic signature solutions out there that don't have them because they just can't afford to go through the process. We have all you need in terms of security and compliance. As for Dynamics, the challenges are pretty similar. It's again about getting rid of the time-consuming and manual steps involved in the signature cycle. It's about getting rid of errors associated with any manual process, lack of visibility in document signing processes. And one thing that I will say that personally I use a lot is the capability of transporting data back and forth between these different systems. In this particular case, the CRM dynamic system and the document itself for to be signed. The integration with Dynamics has the capability to push and pull data, for example, from contacts to pre-fill documents, send it out for signature. You receive those documents back and you push it back to Dynamics to update the contact information. So of course, by doing that, you speed up the process, you avoid errors in data entry. You don't have to put like name, last name, etc. That kind of information is all pulled from Dynamics automatically as you do mapping for the fillable fields that are in the document. This will all make more sense as my colleague Alina, she does a demo, but I just wanted to sort of like give you a flavor of the functionality and the benefits of having the functionality that we do. And you can customize the documents right there with drag and drop text, signature, date, fillable fields, and etc. I think Alina will show some of that. And lastly, what I wanted to touch upon is just a brief case study with a healthcare management firm that we have that uses Microsoft Teams. They are our customer. Of course, with the pandemic, they had to switch their business dramatically to mostly being virtual. They manage a set of a chain of rehab centers, and a lot of it went virtual. And they use Microsoft Teams to handle booking appointments and to send consent forms and keeping track of the patients and everything. And in addition to that, they use signNow to send those forms back and forth. And of course, they pull and push data from Teams to do all of that. So they don't have to be doing data entry into the document itself when they send out to patients. So it's a very straightforward type of case study. In the US, HIPAA compliance is major, and we have HIPAA compliance as well. And that's it. It's pretty simple. signNow is a must. Any electronic signature, is a must for a workflow that is fully digitized. And I hope you enjoy the demo that Alina is going to give next.
Thank you, Evelyn. I'm gonna rechange to my screen, and then I will give you a demo. I will start it with the Teams. Get a little bit slice of our add-ons at Word, how you can add a text tag. Then I will show you like a quick use case where you can send out the documents, take these documents into our editor, edit the documents, and send it over. And then the recipient receive this document, sign this document, and then this document is going to come back to the folder where you selected. And after the Teams, I will show you the dynamics and then workflow for the dynamics. So, for example, you have your team set up, and then you have your groups, your channel where you communicate with the colleagues. And you can add our app here as a tab on the conversation, or you can add it as a normal app and then use it just for yourself. So I already had the signNow app added to one of my teams. I can have all this functionality here. The app that signNow we have, they have all the features that mostly based on the feature that they have signNow. You can work with the documents, you can work with the templates, create templates, send it over. You can have the shared documents and shared templates. For example, you wanted to communicate inside of the specific groups and you wanted to keep these documents just there and then send it over. And also we have document groups here. So you can, like, for example, have that pack of the documents you wanted to send it over all at once. So everything you have there. So for example, you have the files which you start all together with your team, and then you're working like have this document. you have this this doc, or you can create one. For example, you have this document you can open up from the Teams, specifically in the Word, and then you have it like a draft of the documents. We also have it add-on here, and then you can this specific text tag, you can add it for every field. I have it now here. So example, I don't have it set up here, and I wanted to add an initial field, so it's going to be transferred to the fields when we open up this file in signNow. So I have this add-on already logging in, and they have this field like signature field, text field, data, or initial. I need an initial field to add it here. I can select signer, add initial field, and it's added as is a text tag. So when we save this document and then upload it to the signNow, no matter it is going to be in signNow, a web version, or in Teams integration, this specifically field is going to transfer it to the fillable fields where the signer can insert data here. So I leave it here. So I leave it this one blank. So I'll show you how to add the fields there. And I set up this document here, and I can close it, and it's already saved because it's like everything is here in the Microsoft already sync. And I go back to signNow, and then I'm gonna upload this this document to my account. For example, I don't have this document before. So I click to upload. I can upload it from the desktop. I can see like the recent Microsoft Teams file that I've been working for, or I can select specific channel and teams that I can save the documents from. So I have my Teams, it was in the demo site, and it was on a general folder, and I have a sample here. I can add more documents if I wanted, but I will stick with just one. So I will click to import, and then I see that my document's imported to the signNow, and now I have it here. I can open this document right away and start it to work, or I can also make a template from this document. So for example, I wanted to make template. Let's say like it's going to be sample 1, 2, and then I create a template. So this, this is document that I already created. It's going to be reusable, and I can send it multiple times. So let's see how we can add this document. So I have it all option here. You can rename it, move it to a shared folder, invite via link, or edit template. So I click to the edit template, and then we open our editor with a full focuses on the feature that you have in signNow. So you can see here there is fields that you can add it to the documents. There is also a field that you can already put it in. So for example, if you are an approver and then you wanted to already put your signature, so you can go ahead and do it. I have this empty fields like first name, last name. I can make them as a text field, or I can also show you the really great feature which is called magic fields, which is going to be looking at the specific places in the document, and they imported the fields in this specific space where this should be fields. So I have this text field and then text fields. So it's gonna, my signer is gonna put the name here, and I have this small sign, which just means it's required. So I wanted so the first name and the last name is going to be required, and the signature field is also going to be required. It means that they cannot skip this field, and they when they're going to be signed it, it's going to be required for them. I can also put my signature. For example, I already wanted to sign these documents. It's good to go. So I will have this this documents already completed and ready and saved back to the files. So it's fine. I'm going to click the save and close, and then here is my document, and I wanted to invite it to sign. So click to invite to sign, and here is the all the invite to sign page. I can have this specific settings if I wanted to create, for example, a password for my document, so it's going to be more secure. I will save this password. I can set over. And then when the signer is going to open this document, they need to insert this password in order to sign. I can put some expiration date and reminders, but I'm going to skip that for now. I'm going to write down I can also, they have a feature that you can search for the signer inside of your address book in the Microsoft, but I don't have this email in my address book, so I just rewrite it manually. I can put some CC option if I wanted to add someone's into the copy of the letter I'm just going to send out. And also the most important feature is that I can save the copy of completed document to any of the folders in the Microsoft Teams or channel. So if I wanted to do that, I would click to the radio button Microsoft Teams, I select folder, and I wanted to get back my documents to the demo site and to say now completed docs. And I click save, and then after the document's going to be signed and completed, this document going to come back to the folder on the demo site and now completed docs. So everything is good to go. I just click to the send, and the document is going to be sent it to the email that I put it in. So I can see here on the document tab, I can see the status of all the documents that I have in my account. So this one's particularly waiting for the others, this one I signed, and all of that. I can filter it to see all of the documents, side documents waiting for me, waiting for others. This is the documents, if I send it over and I insert the field, the password, this one, it's like this passport document, and I need to unlock it in order to sign it over. So I sent for this email, and I wanted to show you how the signers look like. So I have this second account, which is here. When I refresh it a little bit, because it's because the last session, and when I have it account in the Teams as well, and I have this uploaded sign now there, I also receive a signature request there as a signer. So I have the notification in the signNow chat. They say, here is the sample 1-2 waiting for me, and then owner is this account. So I will click on sign, and they will direct me to the signing session in the signNow. Okay, let's wait a bit because it was still not refreshed. Okay, so the signNow's signing session is open. I will see the read electronic signature disclosure. I will consent, and then here is what I need to insert. So first name, I will write out my name. Then last name, I will just put go. It's going to be quicker. I have my signature here. I can have, if I already have pre-selected signature, it's going to be automatically added here. Or if I wanted to change, for example, I want to be a JTO, I will put it another option. And then the initial, if I want it here. This one is already pre-selected here. As I was mentioned before, you can, in the editing session, you can add your signature right over here. So it's good to go, and I click done, and this document is going to be signed and then completed. I will redirect to my account, and I see the status is signed. I can go back to my center account. I can refresh it. I can switch tabs to refresh it, and I will see this document is signed. So if you remember, I will show you that this document is going to be come back to the folder that I selected. I will go and show you where is this folder are. So here's the files. I'll go to documents, and I have my folder here. Say now completed document. My name of the document will add it to the date of the document, and then the time of the document when it was signed. So this one is signed a few seconds ago. This is specifically my document. I can open to show you that this is the one. And here you see, this is all the data that I put here. I can also open this document at the SharePoint, for example, from here, and I can do whatever I like with this document. It's already completed. If I wanted, there is also one cool feature that I want to show you before I went to the dynamics part. There is also invite via link. you can create a link to any of the templates or all of the documents. This is like the shorter link. You can copy it and then send it over send it to the chat or like by mail. And then the users don't need to be authorized to sign the documents. Or you can embed those documents as a web part. They have this feature in the Teams, and then can show you how this looks like. So I embedded this document. I just insert this link, and they will open signNow every time that I open this tab, and I don't need to be authorized. So for example, you have the use case that you have like templates where like the new employees need to insert it, or there's like they need to do it many times. So I open this link. I have a different doc. I can sign this. Put me some Django. I can sign as a Django here. I can put some tests, and I can click done. And each of these signing documents gonna save to the signNow account that I put it. So I have it in my signNow account, and if I go back, I can see that this document, it's named demo, signed. Also, there is a setting in the Sharepoint integration. If you use the Teams, you probably use Sharepoint as well. There is I can show it to you here. For example, I wanted to open some of the documents in Sharepoint, and they have you can also add the signNow. signNow as a part of the Sharepoint, and then use it with the documents from Sharepoint right away. And they have this signNow setting when you can automatically put any signNow documents into the specific folder. So for example, you have a specific folder where you wanted to check each document, save it back. So you can set it here, and I have this vacancy subfolder. I will show you that all the documents that I sent over from my account, it's go back to the vacancy subfolder, and all of the documents that I show it to you now, like 3 minutes ago, this document also put it here. So it's all in the synchrony work with the Teams integration, Dynamics integration, and the web of the signNow. For the Teams and then the SharePoint, I think I take over all of the parts. They have all of the features that I want to describe, but we are shortly for time, and I will switch to the Dynamics. And then after the demo, you can just give me all the questions you have. So for the Dynamics part, you can use the signNow for any of the records and any of the objects. You can work with account, with a contact, with opportunity, and any of the data from the records. You can pre-select it and send it over. So we have this contact. I've decided I wanted to pre-select some vacation requests, and I have the vacation request for the Chuck Morris. I open up this record, and I have the signNow option here. I will click to signNow, and they will take me to the signNow part where you can see attachment. It's been attachment. This is like all the files that have added to this specific record for the Chuck Morris. And then also there is my templates, which I can pre-select to send over. And I have this sample vacation request form, and I have this 3 options here. I can add it as a template, I can data binding, or you want it to sign. So I wanted to show you how the data binding looks like. It's the pre-selected records. You can see here is the record type, it's a contract, and here is in my signNow template, name of the fields have name like employee name, title, department, and the date. And I put it pre-selected records for it. So for example, I wanted to pre-select an employee name, full name. So here it's gonna put it the Chuck Morris. And then title, it's gonna take data from the title, and department from department. If they don't have the data in Dynamics, they will put the empty fields, and then signer should insert it by hand. And if I wanted to update the dynamic records with the data, for example, I make a mistake in our database for the full name, so the signer can rewrite this name, and it's going to be automatically updated in the Dynamics. So I put all of this as a checkbox, and I save it, and the settings going to be saved into my template. So I want to send it over to the check, and I put it invite to sign. I just would not rename it, but if I wanted to rename it, I can do it, and then click next, and they will redirect me to the invite to sign page. It's a little bit different than the Teams, but it's like have everything that I needed. I will send over to the same person. It's my email birth 3. They also have this advanced settings, like expiration, reminder, or password. You can like change the subject and the body here, and you're good to go. So I click on send, and this template with my pre-filled data from the Dynamics gonna send over to the email that I already put it. They give you 3 options, like to go to place, attachment, or check status. I go to the check status, and then go back to my to the signer option. I will go back to the Teams, or I can also open it from the email that I inserted, but it's going to be more easier to open up from here. So how does document send it over? I can open the document, and you can see that there's all data from the templates already pre-selected. So here is my employee name is Jack Morris. He's a title developer and department IT. For example, he's not a developer anymore. He's a project manager. So he just rewrite it here. Everything's good to go. I put in my signature. The date is of the signature today, and I click on done. So I click on done. It means I sign this document, and this document is completed and get back to the Dynamics. So in the Dynamics, let's just like refresh the page, and then I see the status and it's fulfilled. This means it's completed. So if I go back to my contract, here is still raw data. He's still a developer here, but let me refresh. Okay, this has been like a little bit of a delay in the refreshing page. Okay, maybe my second template that I show you rewrite the data, but ideally they will change, and I will also add it here as attaching documents, and you can have also view of the document that was completed from here, and you can see it. And you can see it that's the document that was completed here. For the Dynamics part, it's mostly it. I can stop sharing, and if you have any questions, we still have time to discuss it, I think.
Thank you, Alina. If there are any questions, please put them into the chat. Evelyn, was there anything to add from your side now?
No, I think, yeah, if there are any questions, we're here to answer them. But as you could see, it's pretty straightforward.
Absolutely, absolutely. If you have someone doing signatures from one country to another, will that still work?
Oh yeah, yeah. It's a cloud solution that is legally binding, yeah, across the world. So yes.
Okay, excellent. And would you say that you are cheaper than the other leading signature?
Correct.
Excellent, excellent. Okay, well, I'd like to say thank you very much to everyone for attending. I'd like to say thank you to Alina and to Evelyn. As we know, you've got offices throughout the world, but as you mentioned, in Ukraine as well. So we wish you all the best for a safe and peaceful resolution and return to normal times as soon as possible.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.